Hello and welcome back. We're still working on the large seascape that I've been doing over the last week or so, and what I thought I'd do today is simply show you what I'm going to do next, which is continue working downwards into the rock area. And then I do still go back. Nothing is actually done with first round or second round. There's an awful lot of adjustments that will still take place. But what I'll show you today is simply continuing this, working on the foreground here, and then going back in and developing the sea a little bit more. So I've got a few more colours because I want to introduce some variety into the rock area. All my cool colours are grouped together: indigo, ultramarine, cerulean, two greens, viridian and sap. And then I've introduced red. I rarely use red in my seascapes, but I'm thinking I might bring in some purple notes here in the foreground, and I'll mix that with my blue for that cadmium red. And I've got two browns, burnt umber and burnt sienna. And here I've just got some sans odor, odor-free thinner laid out. That's all I'm working at the moment. So I'm going to start actually by wetting. I've got a large brush here. I'm going to just wet this area so when I apply the paint it can float on and blend together quite nicely. So this is still just the sans odor, just the thinner. The underneath painting is dry, and then I'm going to get my knife, and basically there isn't too much variety or tonal variety here of light and dark. It's really one dark mass against the sea, and the drama of this composition is really in that strong contrast, light against dark. So I'm just going to make some colours that will work with each other, but they will be pretty harmonious and settle into as one dark mass here. So I'm going to start with mixing some of my burnt umber with ultramarine blue, a bit more blue, to get a dark, blackish kind of grey. And I'm going to start just by putting this on very loosely. Mix up some more. And I'm looking here for simply the shapes as these, spread across the foreground. I'm going to put them in first, kind of flat like that. Then I'm wetting my brush and letting some of this work into each other, like that. I'll pick up some more of this on my brush. I'll add a bit more of the brown to this mix here, burnt sienna. I'm going to introduce some green, some sap green into that mix to introduce the idea of seaweed and just the general mossy, lichen covered surface here. Still very loose, and you can see how the paint is starting to flow into each other. This is just still the thinner, create a variety of kind of marks and textures here. And a slightly smaller brush, I'm going to move on up into this area up here, a bit more blue in the mix. A lot of these colour choices are just kind of instinctive, just working with this, because the colour here in the photo is actually so flattened. And with my knife, I'm just going to move this around a bit, just to add texture to that surface. I'm adding a more blue and brown. I want some of the cracks to be darker, to stand out, even in this dark mass. And these need to be kind of directional, bringing the eye in from the edges. I'm adding some indigo to the mix here. And what I'm going to do next is wet the foreground sea. I also want the water then coming in around this. I'm just wetting this again, just with that sans odor. And I want to mix up my deeper sea colours. So that's ultramarine blue, little indigo, some viridian. I'll add a little sap into that. A deep greenish grey. But I want to come in again with some of this. Here, and I'm going to wet this some more first. You can see how it's starting to float down. And now, while that's still wet, I want to bring my white back in on top here. I'm reaching into my white, pure white paint, and the water coming off that wave and coming round. And I've cleaned my brush. I'm keeping a tissue in my hand here to wipe the knife clean. Just reaching in for some more pure white. And creating these directional marks of the water coming in from the edge like that. Wiping clean. Wiping clean. Now I'm being careful. I know it looks, very kind of haphazard in a way. But I really just get one chance to put that mark down, and I have to get out again, because if I keep on mushing around, it will all turn a middle colour between the dark and the white. I want to keep some parts of that a sharp contrast against each other, and other parts I let it blend so that you've got the whole variety happening there. And I'm getting some more pure white. I want to bring it now in against this here. I'm wiping clean and more. And one more. And here I'm allowing the foam to kind of fly off the way by just moving it with a brush like that. Coming back in with the knife here. And a bit more white coming through from here. And see how the knife just naturally breaks up the paint on the surface. Okay, so I'm going to come back in here now for a bit, and if there's these marks coming down, some of them I'm going to leave, others I need to direct which direction they're going. I don't want them coming maybe straight down, I need them moving across more in a diagonal. But these drips add to the kind of vitality of the piece. And I'm going to bring some streams of this water. I'm going to add some blue to it. A bit of green. More blue. Coming maybe through and over these rocks. Just breaking up the mess a little bit. And some of the white can come through too. Again, just breaking it up. I'll add to some of this, the rock that got covered over in the water. A bit stronger, indigo. Okay, so I'll keep it short enough for today. This needs to rest. I'll let it dry a bit. I'll come back to it. I'll keep working on it. But just in the meantime, to show you the progression, how you start, how you develop, and how you can work on one bit at a time while keeping the vision you have of the whole thing going too. So keep painting. Sorry, have a good week. And I'll be back again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.